Hey there, welcome to day 2 of the 30-day Inspired Action Challenge. So today's topic is procrastination. What is procrastination? It's that putting off of something that we know that we need to do, or putting off something that we know needs to get done and we put it off. Well, I've learned a lot about procrastination over the years, and procrastination is actually a very interesting phenomena, if you will. But it's a really interesting topic because back in the day when I was working as a counselor in a women's shelter, procrastination would just be either considered, they're a bit lazy. I know a friend of mine always talks to me about procrastination in those terms that, are you procrastinating? He might say to me, like I'm just wanting to put it off, which it is about putting off, but there are there are two different kinds of procrastination, and there's more to procrastination that we know about today than we did, say, 10 years ago. So let's look at two different types of procrastination first off. And one is passive procrastination, and the other one is active procrastination. And passive procrastination is when we know we have to do something, but we don't want to do it. And so it's in our mind, kind of floating around there, but we're just kind of like, it's like an avoidance or an irritant that keeps pecking at us. And, I remember when I was a child and it was summer, and I remember all the neighborhood kids outside playing. I could hear them playing games and laughing and talking. And my mom wanted me to clean my room, for instance. And I knew I needed to clean my room. And if I cleaned my room, then I could go outside and play. And literally, I would stay all day in my room and get busy doing other things. Just get lost in that day. And whether it was, you know, reading books or playing a game, whatever it was, it could have taken me maybe an hour to clean up my room, and then I knew I would be able to go outside. But I put it off until, you know, either at night or in the evening when my mom would come down and take everything out of my closet and put it on my bed or out of the drawers, whatever it was that she wanted me to clean up. If there was stuff all over the floor, then she would pick it up and put it on my bed. So now I had to do it. So part of that is, um, I believe, anyways, of the piece of procrastination is sometimes an inability to focus. Now, focus long enough to do that task that we know we have to do. And so, why the inability to focus? Sometimes it can be a task, can be really overwhelming to people. And so it's that task that that, yes, I know it needs to get done, but it feels so overwhelming. So for myself as a child, it was so overwhelming for me to have to, you know, sit and focus and put, things in my closet, put things in my drawers, just simply fold things up maybe to tidy up the bottom of my closet. And it seems really silly, doesn't it? Because really, it could take me, like I say, an hour, just, put the clothes in the laundry hamper and fold them up and stuff like that. But I would rather passively procrastinate by just, putting that off to the side and just getting busy with something else and doing something else that was very peaceful and calming or comforting, something that didn't require me to have to really focus on it. So for some adults, Now, whether it's because of in the past, maybe they have a perceived failure. Let's talk, for instance, when it's business related. So, if I know that I need to go out and maybe go to a store like Staples and get photocopy paper or ink cartridges or whatever it is, let's say I just have to go out and do something like that and I can't start, or I need to go and clean up files on my computer, or I need to simply sit in front of a camera and do something like this. When it feels, for some people, they know they need to do that, but for some reason, whether it's just this fear of failure, whether it causes anxiety, for one reason or another, there is this, or for others, it's going to feel like overwhelm, but it will feel different for different people. But when it's a passive procrastination, there's something there within them that it feels overwhelming or uncomfortable, or it's simply something that is causing anxiety. An active procrastination is when you just want to put it off. And for some people, there's an ability to work faster under short timelines and under a little bit of um, not chaos, I don't want to say that, but when it's last minute, some people do well with that. Now, I know adults with ADD, apparently this is a thing. So, I mean, this is a part of that ADD. And so for myself, um, I'm making a move and I know that I should be going through my stuff and packing right now. But I also know that I do better last minute and I do better when I am in that almost like ding, ding, ding emergency mode. You have to do it right now because you have a day to pack and get everything ready before you get on that plane and fly away. And so for myself, I know that I do better in a mode of emergency or crisis or down to a time crunch. So for some people, there's active procrastination, but for people with ADD, that's what our mind is like. So when you're looking at being someone who is someone who knows that they want to bring in an income, or they need to do something but that they can't get to it. Really, it's again looking at that environment piece, because when you wake up and you sit down and you take out your calendar, your day timer, and you see that I need to do these things, when you look at that, the first thing is right now, that could feel extremely overwhelming to someone because of their environment or because, and again, let's look at the environment piece to make sure that we're all clear on what the environment piece is. So environment is the people that are in your environment that you live with, could be your kids, a spouse, pets, a landlord, roommates, and also it could be the circumstances in the environment, like debt, um, uh, our bill payments, um, a full house, lots of um, things in your environment that, like maybe the floor is taken apart because you're doing renovations in your house. Sometimes it's circumstances. So then environment and circumstances to me are on one of the same, but circumstances are the things more outside of our control. World events, war, natural disasters, things that happen out there that we have no control about, but which affect our environment. If, for instance, you're in a city where, all of a sudden they're on lockdown, or there are, big flashy lights that tell you the terrorist alert, or, um, in Canada, it would be forest fire alert. But all of those things affect us. And so when we wake up, depending how you're waking up, because some people right away, they are waking up with fear or anxiety. And there's all this overwhelm in their external world that makes it really hard to sit down and focus on a certain task. And we did talk a little bit about this as well yesterday when we talked about our mindset, almost the resistance that we felt. It almost, the procrastination kind of melds into, or sorry, the resistance melds into this procrastination day. So there's all these other things, either within us or around us. And so depending on how you are waking up, and what you are feeling when you are sitting down and looking at your day. So the first thing to kind of assess is your environment, and really looking at, okay, well, when I wake up in the morning, how am I feeling? Um, then the next thing is the emotion. Again, would be emotion. What is that emotion that you're feeling? So are you feeling anxiety? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling fearful, stressed out, overwhelmed? And then going to the thought. So what is a thought? Because is there a thought that is causing me to put off the stuff that I know I need to do? So then you look at that thought. Those are the first three things, and those three things every day are the things in any one of these challenges, which you'll probably hear me talk about for the next 30 days, because it's those first three things that really are determining any kind of action at all. And so it will be environment, emotion, and thought. Those first three things that will show up every day in any situation of your life. And just being aware of whether you're passively procrastinating or whether you're actively procrastinating. So are you putting it off for a specific reason, which is more active, or do you just keep kind of like, I don't want to do that, I'll do that tomorrow? Like, is it annoying? Those are the two things you can look at as well. Um, But really getting clear of that, because I find it really is an amazing or really fascinating topic, procrastination. It's one of those things that really does fascinate my mind. And so just really getting clear on those three steps, and then, sometimes maybe it is. It depends what it when it comes to your business and your work, if you're an entrepreneur, you can't actively or inactively become passive, or on procrastination. You have to get clear on what it is that is stopping you and preventing you from doing something. And then even if I was actively procrastinating, which means that there's a reason. Like, I want to put off packing because I don't know, it's boring and I just can't, I have better things to do than just pack. But I can break up my day to be able to get the packing done and business done and some self-care done, if those are the three components of my day. So there's always a way that we can move forward. But the first thing that we have to do is figure out what first, are we actively or passively procrastinating, and look at our environment or the circumstances of our day, look at the emotions that we're feeling, and inquire into the thought that we're feeling or that we're thinking, and then sitting down and coming up with a strategy on how we can then move forward. And even if it's just taking little steps and saying, okay, I get it. I am an active procrastinator. So, okay, I don't want to sit and pack all my stuff right now today because I want to do it in the middle of when the timer goes off and I have only a day left. But that doesn't make sense and it doesn't always work that way. So I am going to go and just organize one suitcase. Because it's filled with clothes, let's organize and go through that today. Just go through one suitcase and see, are there clothes I want to give away? What do I want to take and what don't I want to take? And that's just one action today. And if I do that, I feel pretty accomplished. In terms of business, okay, if I can at least get one post done or one video out or do one reading for my YouTube channel, then I'll feel pretty accomplished with that today, for instance. So really setting up small bite-sized goals. If you feel like you are one of those procrastinators, and but really it is getting to the root of the procrastination. And so that really is your biggest goal here with this video of today's inspired action. Whether you do any kind of forward action, really just today thinking about procrastination, getting really clear and really understanding for you moving forward what this procrastination is about. Because let's say you go through and you still don't move forward in your business and you still, after this 30 days, you're still doing the same thing you did for the past 6 months. It's not working. So I encourage you is to, for day 2, just really sit down and get clear. Get clear on what your emotions are upon waking, what your environment is triggering in you, what are the thoughts that you're telling yourself? Are those thoughts true or are they false? Is it your chemistry of those emotions that you want to feel? Get really clear on the root and go back. So, and how you would do that is, okay, well, so what's my procrastination about? Then you figure that out. Well, it's fear. Okay, well, what are you fearful of? Well, I'm really afraid to succeed, or I'm really afraid to fail, or I really don't believe in myself. Whatever it is, you'll know. And then go back a little bit further and finding out where the root of this stems. And whether it's an event that happened to you in the past, whether it's something that someone's been telling you all your life, there is a root cause. And so look at it. Again, for myself, I can go back to those moments of being a child and procrastinating. I didn't want to clean my room. So the task of cleaning my room was more, or going out, like that task of cleaning my room was so dreadful that it caused me as a child not to want to be outside playing with my friends. What are the chances of that? Now, yes, it is true. I was very happy on my own in the peace and quiet, sitting by the river or in my room. So obviously maybe there's some of that at play, but I could go back to that time. Even now, I can still think of that time and I can, then try to make sense of what was happening around that time for me. Why was it more preferable for me to be in my room than outside playing with my friends? So really just getting really clear on the root cause and digging really deep, because there is something around the topic of procrastination. We're adults and we're very intelligent adults. And so what prevents us just from not opening up that door and going going to sit in a coffee shop and interacting with another human being, or just sitting in front of a camera like this and making a video. Um, right? Like those are really simple tasks. So there's really something going on with us as an adult, at any time in our life when we procrastinate to doing anything, really. So why do we procrastinate? So those are some things to consider, and I encourage you just to really stop, even before you go on to day three, to really figure out day two here and procrastination, and really getting to the root of that. So again, looking at whether you're a passive or active procrastinator. Um, what's in your environment? What are your emotions that you're feeling every day before you're procrastinating doing a task, and looking at the thoughts. And really don't go any further than this day and getting to that root before you move on to day three. That's what I suggest. Okay, have a great day, everybody.